Very good morning to all of you. My name is Mrs. Rajkumari Chauhan. I teach in Anjuman Islam A. Khatkate English Secondary School. Today I am going to explain you a topic of Standard 9th Geography Introduction to Economics. So let's begin with the topic. Before I start, can you all tell me what do you mean by the word economics? Yes, economic means anything which relates with money, with finance. Okay, so simply I can say economic means revenue, finance, inflation, deflation, relate with all the sectors of primary, secondary, tertiary, gross production, then loss, profit, budget, everything, whatever we calculate, the whole budget system is concerned to be economics. Now, simply I will tell you, our parents earn income, isn't it? They get monthly salaries. So, as per the salary, we do our monthly expenditure also, isn't it? Suppose if families expenditure, the monthly expenditure like food items, uniforms, stationaries, medical expenditure, any type of bill, rent, vegetables, transports, everything if they include, their expenditure is, take example, 18,000 and the family's income is 20. So the family is saving 2,000. Yes, so this is called budget, and it is again a good type of budget because they are saving something, so that can be included in economics. So when you can say there is a relationship of income and expenditure in any term, then it can be said as economic factor. Okay, so this all things led to the birth of economics. Now, today, if you see, because of today's pandemic, we have impact of economics. Yes, it is a worst impact of economic in today's world. We also compare it with 1930s impact, or you can say that was called as Great Depression year of economy. Okay, so in 1930 also they faced the same, or you can say, impact of economy what we are facing today. So today we are facing because of pandemic, but in 1930 they faced because of various aspects like drought was seen, then falling goods prices, there was increase in the production but still there was not much of demand, then mass unemployment, you can say poverty was on increase, banks were on deficit. So there was a lot of problem which was faced in 1930, and they compare it with today's impact of economy which we have seen because of the pandemic. People are jobless, they don't have much amount to buy their basic needs and all, so what we are suffering with the economic terms. Okay, so you can call it as because of pandemic what we are suffering is also one of the economy which is something, you can say, worst economy we are facing today. Okay, now next, first, again we need to see it more in detail about what is economics. So we'll see here the definitions of economics. So first thing what you need to see is economics. Economics comes from the Greek word oikonomia, which means household. Okos means household. Then comes nomos. Nomos means management. So it is called as household management, or also it can be said as family management. Okay, now Aristotle says he describes economy as a household management that means the problems of basic necessity like food, shelter, clothing, education, treatment, etc. for family members, and the process of solving these problems by earning money. So as I explained you simply, we earn money and then there is certain expenditure which has to be seen of the family. Okay, now again, we will see the next definition. What is economics? According to Adam Smith. Now, Adam Smith is also called as father of economics. Okay, so in his book Wealth of Nation, published in 1776, he has defined economics as the science of wealth. So he has given more importance to wealth. Okay, his definition is wealth oriented. So wealth is concerned to be value in exchange of goods and services. So it is only concerned with the wealth of nation, but not the production part. Remember this. So that was, you can say, the problem which people thought that it is not clearly a whole concept of economic can be included in this definition. So later on we came up with more new definitions. So this was the definition of Adam Smith, as you can simply call it as wealth oriented definition. Then today's modern definition, we will see here what we accept. Scarcity definition. Okay, now what is scarcity definition? Can anyone tell me? Okay, scarcity definitions by Robbins. He says economics is the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce, means which have alternative uses. Okay, now I will explain this definition more clearly. See, we have unlimited wants, isn't it? Our wants are not limited. We never think that, oh, I got a house, I got whatever I wanted. I wanted a car, I wanted a bungalow with 3 BHK, then I wanted a good family. Everything I got it, and I am fulfilled with whatever I wanted in my life. Isn't it? We plan out that I need so many things. And when we get, do you think that we stop? Then after that we don't have any wants. So as soon as our one wants are fulfilled, okay, the other want arises. Even though if I think that I need so very big house, nice car and all, but still there are unlimited. We want some more. Even though if I get a good car, I think that no, I want better than this. Still if I get 3 BHK house, still I think that no, I want bigger than this. So human wants are unlimited. Remember this, human wants are unlimited. But that wants are scarce in nature. They are less in nature. So because of that, there is demand of that wants. Remember this. Now I will give you one more example. Air. We all know that air is one of the important thing for in our life. Without air, without oxygen, can we live? No. Isn't it? So that is more important. But why don't people sell air or oxygen? Because it is freely available in nature. It is unlimited. There is no scarcity of air. So obviously, which is freely available, it doesn't have any demand. So where is the demand? Where there is scarcity. So his definition, modern definition, was accepted and was said that he emphasized on choice under scarcity. And then we thought of, you can say, alternative uses also. If you go in any restaurant, if you don't get tea, then you have other choice, coffee. Got it? So you have alternative uses also. If I don't get chapati, okay, then I have bhakri also for that instead of that. So there are alternative uses also. So his definition clearly mentions economic is the science which studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce, means which have alternative uses. Now we will see here, after this we will learn about what are the types of economy. So here if you see, there are 3 types of economy. Okay. So one is capitalistic economy and second is socialistic economy, which is shown here, capitalism and socialism. Okay. Now what is capitalistic economy? In capitalistic economy, the ownership and management of means of production is in the hands of private individuals. That means the firm is private. No interference of any government. Even I can start as my private individual or firm. Got it? So ownership is totally worked out by the private individuals. Main aim is to earn maximum profit. Obviously, when I am starting any business, so my main intention will be to earn maximum profit. Isn't it? So here the main intention is to earn maximum profit. Germany, Japan, USA have adopted such type of economy because they are high class, you can say, developed countries, and they are not concerned about the people. They just look after themselves, so there is no interference of any type of government. So they have private firms. Now second comes socialism or socialistic economy. The means of production belong to the society as a whole. That means the society is going to look after this. So that is, who is the society? Who is looking after? The government. Simply, the government is controlling everything. So here the main aim, what is the main aim of the government? To achieve social welfare. So they are going to look after the society, the social welfare of the people. So obviously when they start any firm, they are going to see to it that every person should get at least the basic necessities, the basic necessity things. Okay, so here these are, you can say, underdeveloped country or on the form of verge of developing. Okay, so like here China, Russia had adopted this socialistic type of economy. So here there is no private firm, it is only under the control of government. So government will be seeing all the basic necessity, then they will go for other things. Okay, so here this type is socialistic economy. Then next one more we have, which is not shown in this table. It is called as mixed economy. So what is mixed economy? Obviously mixed economy means where both the economy is been accepted. Got it? Even the capitalistic, even the socialistic. It is the coexistence of private and public sectors. That means even private firm is there. Okay? Even the public sector is there. So there is dealing of government also, and there is personal firm also. Okay, so the personal firm, private firms, they are going to see just the profit, and the public firms, which is related with the government, they are going to see the basic necessity of the people. So here both the economy is working together. So this is called as mixed economy. So mixed economy is accepted in India, then UK, these countries and many other countries had adopted this type of system. So I hope you are clear with all these three economy: capitalistic, which is personal economy, profit oriented economy; socialistic, which is totally run by the government and they look after the people; then mixed economy, where both the firms are seen, private and public, so which we find in India. Okay, so we will see here more. I have given you certain more examples in this. See here, characteristics of capitalistic economy. So it is private ownership, government does not involve here, run on self-interest, and there is a lot of competition among the people. So here everyone is included. Then it is totally, you can say, double, whatever is the supply, whatever, sorry, the public demands, that is the supply. Okay, so totally on based of the people. So people are, you can say, high class people, so obviously they are going to demand more classy items, standardized items, you can say. So this is totally profit oriented market, and they supply whatever is the demand by the people. Now next, again I have explained you the socialistic economy, that is socialism. The means of production are owned by the state. So it is totally run by the government. No interference of private firms. So whatever the government thinks which is important for the whole society, maximum society, they see to it and they work on it. Okay. So these are the things which we have seen: capitalistic, socialistic and mixed economy. Now we will see budget. As I explained you in the starting also, there are budget system. So there are three types of budget which is very important to be learned. Okay. Now what are the three types of budget? That is deficit budget, balanced budget and surplus budget. In this, the best one is the surplus budget, because here we save some amount of money for our future. So deficit means when our you can say income is 20,000 and you are spending 25,000, 22,000. So again, that is deficit. So how we will, you can say, manage our expenditure? Obviously by taking help from someone else, or if we have saved our saving, then we will take out from that, or either we are going to take a loan. Okay, so deficit is something which is not a good type of budget. You should never go in deficit. Always either you should be in surplus budget or balance budget. Balance is whatever is your income 20,000, and your expenditure is also 20,000, so it is balanced budget. So that is also not a, you can say, bad budget, but again it is a balanced budget, but there is no saving for the future. So always remember, we need to maintain our budget, and we need to see to it that we go in surplus budget, which is one of the best type of budget. So I hope you are clear with the three type of budget. Deficit, okay, where the expense is more, revenue is less. Balanced budget, where expense and revenue is the same. Then surplus budget, where the expense is less but revenue is more, that is the saving is also there. Okay, so these are the three types of budget of economy. Okay, I hope you are clear with these three types of budget. Okay, now here I wanted to explain you more in detail about the mixed economy, because it relates with India. Okay, India's economy is of mixed type. In India, the public and private sectors coexist to produce, distribute and consume the goods and services. The main aim is to make a balance between profit and social welfare. Thus, India's economy is of mixed type. Now again it comes that why we have decided for mixed type of economy. Can anyone tell me? The main reason is that in mixed economy, see, in mixed economy what happens, when it is private, we are going to see it that we all earn lot of profits. But when it comes to public sectors, the government looks after the people who are below poverty line. We all know we have ration cards, isn't it? So that ration card is for whom? For the low class people, or the people who are below poverty line. So we see to it that they get at least the basic necessity things. So obviously the government look after them. Okay, but there are certain people who are high class also. They you can say they are capable of all the basic necessity, so they can, you can say, they can buy all the high class things where the private firms can earn the profits. So obviously we have mixed type of economy which is accepted in India. Okay, the next part which we see, okay, the next is globalization. Now, what is globalization of the economy? The recent economy policies are taking the economy towards globalization, and it is one of the best thing which we are doing. We have accepted in the worldwide. Globalization means building a world economy. Okay, world economy is a borderless economy in which natural resources, profit, services, capital, labor, technology flow freely across borders of countries. Okay, so obviously it means that having connection with the whole world through trade. So there is a free trade and all restrictions on investments are set aside. So this is what we call as globalization of economy. Now the next part is factors affecting economic growth. So there are certain factors which affect economic growth if it is in proper systematic way, like human capital. Okay, so what is human capital? Human capital, you can say, is the increasing investment. Okay, the investment should be more and systematic with quality production. Okay, and also the quantity should be seen of the people, what is required, demand and supply. So efficient labor should be provided. So obviously when there is good of human capital, we are going to grow in economy. Population, yes, increase in population is also one of the positive aspects, but it should be quality population. What do you mean by what quality population? Quality population means people should be literate, they should be aware of the technology, they should know how to handle the technology, the machines. So obviously if they can handle all the machine technical things, we are going to grow in the economy terms. Okay, then next comes capital formation. Industries, land, machines, electricity, everything, there should be more of capital formation from all this, incur with profit, obviously then we are going to grow in this. Then comes all the technical facilities. If we have more capital amount, more proper human, you can say human intervention, population, high class population, we will grow in technology also. Then human resources is also one of the most important you can say member, or to develop the country's economy. So the quality and the quantity of available human resource can directly affect the development of an economy. Okay, so if there is a proper factors to grow economy, obviously we will be one of the best or standard or developed country, or any country who are growing very well in all these structures. Okay, so this is what economics is. Okay, so I hope you are clear with economics. So it's a basic economics what they have explained in 9th standard. I hope you are clear with some of the concept which I have explained you here. Got it? So thank you very much.